Hi, everybody. Welcome to Little Meatballs Nursery. I'm Sandra. Welcome if you're new here, and welcome back if you're returning. So, hey guys, how is everybody? I missed you all. I haven't been on for a couple days, but I'm back for my Friday video. Yeah, I only did one other video this week, and that was because the kids had off Monday, so it kind of threw me off. I was kind of doing like Monday, Wednesday, Friday videos for a couple weeks, and that was working out really well, I feel. But because the kids had off Monday, I wasn't able to do a Monday, and I was sick on top of that. So, did my Tuesday video where I opened my adorable little silicone babies and I introduced my big girl, Santina Grace, and I have been having lots of fun with all three of those babies, all of my babies, really. So, my silicone collection is growing. I now have four. And I love the silicones. They bring me a lot of happiness. I really didn't think that, I liked them, because we've had okay, this is how I started with the silicones. I actually tried a 14-inch silicone, the Awake Girl, like little Johnny's twin sister. I had bought her for myself for Christmas, I want to say 3 Christmases ago. Not last Christmas, not the year before that. And so I had tried her, and I opened her Christmas morning. I thought she was the cutest thing. I was so scared. I didn't know what to expect. I had never felt a silicone doll in person. I just didn't know what to expect. I was just going on reviews and what other people were saying. 14-inch, I was like, that's kind of small. What am I going to do with it? That sort of thing. And then someone at the time that had gotten that doll said, "Oh, it's so squishy, you'll love her," this and that. So I decided to try her. So got her for Christmas, loved her. I thought she was the cutest thing. Then Danny kept playing with her. And so I wound up buying a boy one, which is the one we still have, little Johnny. So I bought him, and then I bought him for myself, but then Danny kind of gravitated towards him. So I knew Danny would love him, and that's why I kind of bought him in the first place. But being that he would be my doll to take care of, and then Danny could play with him here and there, but it winds up growing into more than that. And then he wanted to take him to sleep with him. He wanted to take a bath with him. He wanted to do everything with little Johnny. So that doll kind of became his. I still do take care of it. I powder him, and he stays here in the silicone Moses basket. So that's what I did. I put all of them in the Moses basket, and I put it on a that long ottoman. I took that out of Danny's room. We're kind of doing switcheroos here because as the tree went up, yes, my tree is up. But I told you that, I think I told you guys that already. But it's fully decorated now. So I'm not going to do that today, show you around. I'm going to do a tour, like Christmas holiday decoration, like after the living room is complete. Because, like I said, I still have to get a couple things for the wall and then the rug and all that stuff. Well, I don't want to go all over the place. But anyway, so yeah, so that's when I got my first silicone. Loved it. But then I didn't keep her. We kept little Johnny, but I sold her. And then I decided, I wanted to really focus on the authentic Reborns because that's where my heart was at the time. And seemed like I was getting babies left and right. Okay. And then kind of, with this year, the finances, the shift and change in the economy and all that. And so I had to kind of find something else that would bring me as much joy, right? But something that wasn't as expensive as the Authentics. Now, don't get me wrong, you can find dolls on reborns.com that are authentic, that are very affordable. I am just a very picky collector. So I really, there's certain things that I look for in a doll, and if I can't afford those things in an authentic doll, I would rather put my money to a replica, because it's cheaper that way. And if I'm not going to be 100% satisfied with the authentic, then I'd rather just pass on it. I would rather wait until I could actually get the one that I really, really love. And that I love the style. Everybody has different likes and dislikes in this hobby. It doesn't mean that, one a painting is bad and one is great, or vice versa, whatever. It just means that everybody has their own taste in the hobby. Everybody likes something different. Everybody dislikes, different things. And so for me, my taste in reborns and what I enjoy and what I love cost a little bit more than, budget babies. So, but that's not knocking budget babies, because they're great for many different reasons, many different purposes. And there are people out there that adore them. And but for me, especially, it's not just money wise, it's also space wise. Like, I don't have my own doll room anymore, so I have to be very picky about what I bring in to my living room, because that's essentially where my dolls are at. So I kind of have to pick and choose, what I really want and what I could do without. And so that brings me to my fun collection of silicones. um so for me, the silicones do a lot more than just to look at and change once in a while. In fact, I don't even have to have many clothes for them, because I don't. In fact, this little guy over here, I found a side snap t-shirt I'm going to show you in a minute. And that's the only thing I got for this guy. But I love the silicones because they have that play factor as well. Um, let me grab my little one first. And I kind of wanted to show you all the different sizes. So we'll start small and then we'll go up to the bigger one, because I have 4 different sizes right now. So, and if you want to see more silicones, just putting this out there, make sure you stay tuned tomorrow for a very special collab with me and my BB. My beautiful bestie Christina. We are doing a collab, and we are very excited. We are going to have our husbands on for the hubby holiday tag, so that's going to be hilarious, I'm sure. So basically, we came up with 10 questions or so. I think there's 10 on there. Jason actually came up with them yesterday. I was shocked because he really wanted to do this too. So he came up with the questions, and then I showed them to Christine, and she's like, yeah, Kevin would love to answer those too. Or I would love to hear Kevin's answers, whichever it was. So we're going to do that together as well. They're just going to be on for like, just the tag portion of it. But me and Christina are going to be featuring our newest silicone babies. We're going to be talking about the holidays. We have our gift exchange coming up, but that is not this collab. That is going to be our second collab. We might do a third one. We're not sure yet, but definitely a second one to when we exchange gifts. And then we also have planned a very special thing for our viewers, for our subscribers. So make sure you stay tuned. It probably will be posted tomorrow night, tomorrow evening, because I am on the West Coast and we are doing it later in the day to make sure that her husband is home and, my kids are settled and everything, so that we can do the collab together, all 4 of us at one point. So it probably be uploaded late tomorrow evening, I would say. So if you stay up late, then watch for it late Saturday night. And if not, you'll have a Sunday morning video to watch. And so that's going to be lots of fun. So don't forget to watch, because there are special things in this collab that are meant just for our subscribers. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be lots of fun. We're going to have lots of holiday ideas and lots of holiday talk and doll talk, of course. So stay tuned for that. But back to the silicones. So I'm going to show you smallest to biggest of the ones that I currently have. I don't want to say expecting, because I'm not sure yet. I did have a viewer reach out to me saying that they were not bonding with one of their babies. It was a silicone doll that they bought from Amazon. They weren't bonding with it. They wanted to know if they could send it to me for my birthday, which was beautiful. And so I just don't want to mention it until I'm 100% sure yet, because maybe this person changed their mind. I don't know. But she did say that she would ship it like early November when she was gonna send it. So I don't know, but I'm not gonna mention anything until that's like 100%. I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch. So, but I can say for sure that I am getting my Christmas baby, which is an authentic cuddle baby from Anna. So I'm not saying who that kit is. Only two people know. No, wait, I don't want to lie. Three. Three people know. Okay, only Christina, Tina, and Amanda. You were the three that know, so please. They're the only ones that know, and the rest is going to be a surprise because um, it is a very special baby. He was my first ever cuddle baby that I had, and that sculpt is the reason I fell in love with the cuddle babies in the beginning of my reborn journey. So we're talking like over 4 years ago, I had this kit and haven't had him since. And I absolutely adore this kit. In fact, I didn't even think Bountiful Baby, I thought it was discontinued because it hadn't been in so long. So, and it is a boy, of course, my reborn boys. So he is a definite. He's a definite. I think with that one though, usually I wait till Christmas morning to open my Christmas baby, because I like to pretend Santa brought him, that the whole shebang. But what I've been realizing the past couple years is that mom is so darn tired. I am so tired Christmas morning because mom doesn't sleep. So I think last year I didn't sleep at all. The year before, I might have closed my eyes and dozed off for a half hour. But other than that, I don't sleep Christmas Eve. So Christmas Day, kids get up early, they open their presents, and we have our Christmas Day together. And by the time, it's very busy. It's very busy that morning with the kids and, putting together their stuff, or they want to show me what they got, and then making, breakfast, and, everybody showering and getting dressed for Christmas Day and watching the parade and all this stuff. I don't know. Is there a parade? I think there is a parade Christmas Day. Or am I thinking Thanksgiving? I think Disney does a Christmas Day parade. It may be like pre-recorded, but but the main parade is Thanksgiving that we watch. But anyway, there's a lot of things going on Christmas morning with three kids. So, usually I haven't been able to um open my baby. Like last year, I didn't open my baby until the day after Christmas. So what I'm thinking is Christmas Eve, I'm going to open my Christmas baby. So I'm going to wrap them, put them under the tree, and then Christmas Eve, when the kids open their Christmas Eve gifts, because they get 3 gifts each on Christmas Eve. So when they open theirs, I will open my baby. I think that's what I'm going to do. Of course, I'm going to do it on a video. I want to share the baby with you guys. So, and plus it gives me time. That's what I'm saying too. Like during the day, Christmas Eve or even, I don't know, or even maybe after the kids are asleep. Like I could do the video opening my baby before Santa gets here, so because I'll have plenty of time because I'm going to be up all night. So I might as well just open the baby, enjoy him, and he could help me out, when Santa gets here. I don't know. But I thought that would be different for me to open the baby Christmas Eve. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Now, that being said, I might have other things Christmas Day to open under the tree. It really depends financially what's going on. I'm sure that all you guys are very aware of, because a lot of people are going to suffer from this, that the government shutdown has caused people's benefits to either be eliminated for November or severely delayed. Now, there are certain states that already have said, hey, there's going to be no SNAP benefits in November. And then there are states that have not announced that yet, because that it is a federally funded program, SNAP, and when you just leave it up to each individual state, people are, the states, they're running out of money, bad enough, that people are going to need the food banks this year, and the pantries and all that stuff. And like I told you guys on the last video, when I called to get on the holiday list, they told me that they had capped it at a certain amount, and that they were already full, their list. So a lot of people are needing it this year. And now with people losing their benefits, and it's a shame, it really is, right before Thanksgiving. Like, I think it's horrible. It's really horrible. That there are so many families that, you know, will starve without those benefits. Now, we are not in that bracket. Thank the Lord. We are not in that bracket. But we do rely on food stamps for our family, for our food shopping. And Jason has been going to pantries. In fact, he went to another one today. So we're doing what we can where we can. And it's really great in the community that people help each other. I don't mean YouTube community, but they do help each other on YouTube too, but not there. I'm talking about like the community, local community, that there are places for people to go. Now, do we, like, we're not going to starve. In other words, we're not going to starve. I just have to make sure that, that part of my check goes, a lot more of my check, I want to say, goes towards the food budget next month versus Christmas gifts or other things that we may need, like, mom's gonna have to hold off on underwear again, stuff like that. We just have to limit, the toiletry stuff. Hey, me and Jack could share a bottle of shampoo. We'll have to all get the same soap, not share the same soap, you know what I mean? Instead of buying, who wants Dove, who wants, Head and Shoulders, who needs this, we'll just share, and that's okay. That saves $20 right there in shampoo. So it's just adjusting the budget, But what I mean is that there are, I'm sorry, this nose ring is bothering me. There are families out there that solely rely on, especially households with single incomes, like single moms out there, or single dads that have one income, and they rely on SNAP benefits to help feed their families. It's going to be tragic. It really is. And especially around Thanksgiving, like I said, the holidays, it breaks my fucking heart. It really does. It's like, how could you do that to millions of people in the US receive SNAP benefits, millions of people. And now, of course, there are videos that go around TikTok and Instagram and things of people videotaping, people that are using SNAP benefits, and they're pissed because they can't buy candy or soda or any of that shit anymore. Now, do I agree with that? To a certain extent, I agree that you should be buying your children and your family and yourself healthy things, okay? But I was just talking to Tina about this the other day, is that even though we love fruit, we love vegetables, especially myself, I could live off of berries and, corn on the cob and all kinds of stuff, okay? Corn on the cob is fairly cheap, but I'm talking about like berries and all that other kind of stuff that cost a lot of money. And when you have a bigger family to feed, those things that are more expensive, it's usually, no, not usually, it is, the healthier foods cost more money. So if you are trying to stretch, whether that's your money or food stamps, it doesn't matter, okay? You're trying to stretch that to feed your family for an entire month, okay? So to say, okay, you can't buy, they're not saying you can't buy ramen, but I'm just saying, I'm using it as an example, to say that you can't buy a box of ramen because it's unhealthy. So they're not going to allow you to buy that. You have to buy the fruits and vegetables instead. Well, that's going to cost you like 4 times as much money out of your already tight food budget. right? So that's going to cost you that much more. So is it, so you're supposed to just have enough money to feed your family healthy for 1 week and then starve the other 3? Or are you going to buy the stuff that's cheaper and the stuff that happens to be more, less healthy than the fresh fruits and vegetables, um, and be able to feed your family for the entire month? I mean, that's where we're at. So, that's my point of view on it. Now, do I disagree with people going in there and buying bags of chips and ice creams and cake and all that for the kids, soda and all that? I do disagree with that. I think that there's a balance, and while you can't, afford to buy all the fresh things that, all the healthy things that, you can throw it in here and there, so it doesn't have to all be junk that you're buying. Okay. Another side to that is my kids don't eat, my kids don't eat fruit and vegetables. They just don't. Um, Not that I haven't tried, because I introduced them to lots of fruits and vegetables at a very young age, since they were able to eat baby food. And they will eat an apple, they will eat a banana, but vegetables, hell no. My kids won't eat them. They try. I will give Danny, whenever I cook a vegetable or anything like that, or make a fruit salad or anything, because I love it. Okay. I will give it to Dan. Jack won't try it at all. Ethan will try it occasionally. Danny will always try something new. So I will give it to him. He'll eat it and he spits it out. He doesn't like it. And I will try again and again, because there is a 3-time rule with kids that if they don't like it the first time, introduce it again. Try it again. Maybe prepare it a different way. Try it again. I've done everything from putting butter on it, salt, leaving it plain, trying it raw, trying it cooked, trying to mask it in some other kind of dish that they like. They pick it out, they don't like it. So my thing is, if I also have to buy food that my kids are going to eat, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if I'm buying them, if I'm spending $100 on healthy things for my children, okay, healthy fruits and vegetables and all this kind of stuff, and at the end of the day they're still hungry because they refuse to eat it, then I just wasted money and their bellies are empty. So to me, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you're trying to feed your family. The goal here is, like, I've been eating things all week long that I don't necessarily want to eat, but it's just to put something in my stomach. So there you go. It's like it's one of those things that's a double-edged sword again. It's like my goal is to keep my family fed. My goal is to make sure my kids don't go to bed hungry. That's my goal. Not to make sure that they are, listen, they take a multivitamin. They have their gummy things that they take. Okay. They drink plenty of water. So it's not like they're not getting their vitamins or anything that they need. But again, it's down to, not everybody, listen, a lot of people, many, like I said, millions of people just don't have that luxury anymore to say, okay, well, I'll buy the strawberries, the blueberries, the raspberries, we'll try some of this and that and that, and then we'll also get the regular stuff. And then this way you can try this good stuff, and if you don't like it, no big deal, we'll throw it out. No, people don't have that luxury, you know? So it really comes down to making sure your children are fed. Okay. And I know, and I could sleep better at night knowing that my children are sleeping with their bellies full and not, like so many other kids out there. I don't want to start crying. Other kids out there that don't have that option, you know? That's what really breaks my heart, is for all of these other children in single family, income housing that these kids really are just going to solely depend on school for their meals, because thank God the schools still give free breakfast and lunch, if you're within that, income bracket. Because a lot of these kids, that's what they depend on. Now, that's another thing. I always make sure that my kids have breakfast before they go to school. Now, if they choose to eat breakfast in school, that's their choice, because, like I said, it is free for them. But I always make sure that breakfast is made for these kids. Okay? I do not want them to. I remember how I felt as a kid going to school, and I was hungry. I was hungry because my mom really didn't make breakfast before school. You know, um, I want to say for the little kids, when my sisters were little, maybe in the kindergarten, that sort of thing. But I mean, I remember, and we couldn't get free lunch at school because my stepfather made too much money. Okay. So there was no, I remember there were kids that got free lunch then. I wasn't one of them. So if my mother forgot to give me I think it was $1.25 back then for lunch. I don't know what it is now. But if my mother forgot to leave me $1.25 on the counter, or if I didn't ask her for lunch money, then I didn't eat. Okay. So I remember going through school. I remember sitting at the lunch table with my friends and being so hungry and just hoping they would offer me something. So, and I'm not embarrassed to say this now. I'm an adult. Okay. I'm an adult and I could talk about this hard stuff now. Okay. And I'm sure that there are viewers out there that are going to relate to what I'm saying right now. Back then, it's either, you could afford to buy the lunch, you had no problem, your parents gave you money, you had a wallet. I remember people pulling tens out of their wallet in elementary school to pay for lunch. Or you were poor and that's what they said, you were poor and you were on the free lunch ticket. Now, everybody knew you were on your free lunch ticket because for some reason, at least not in my school, they didn't allow you to have what everybody else was having. If you got free lunch, they only gave you two choices. It was either peanut butter and jelly, or if you were allergic to peanut butter, they had another option. I forgot what it was. But there was only two options for free lunch back then. So they didn't, if you were on a free lunch ticket, you knew, because you knew by looking around the table, who had pizza and fries, right? And who was sitting there with a PB&J. So they singled people out back then like that. Now, obviously, if you get a free lunch, they give you whatever, is for everybody else. I would say most of the kids at the school get a free lunch because this is not, we're not in a wealthy area over here. It's, again, I feel like we live in not the bad part of town, but we're not in a wealthy part of town either. We're in the middle. But we do live in, they consider these low income housing. And so again, you have to fit within a certain income bracket. And of course, me and Jason are just, I think we just made it, with both our incomes, like to get in here. In other words, we were almost over the limit to rent these apartments. But at the time, when I tell you, at the time, my rent was $750, okay, for a 2-bedroom, brand new apartment. Okay, everything was new in here, new rugs, new counters, new everything. Okay, new windows, everything was new in this apartment when we moved here. 750 for a 2-bedroom, 2 full bath. Okay, I don't even know the square footage of this place, but it's not small. It's not small, but it's not big. It's like in between. It's a regular 2-bedroom, okay? I was just grateful that it had an in-unit washer dryer, because before that in New York, we had to go to laundromat and it was terrible. And back then we just had the two kids, but terrible. You don't want to sit there. And then, thank God, the one we went to was kind of around the corner from our house in Poughkeepsie. And so we would walk around the corner, and then we go to the little corner store, and we'd go and sit there and get, the kids a chocolate milk or whatever we were doing at the time. And like everything was right there. The post office was around the corner. We had, the partnership building was around the corner. That's where you had to go to, sign up for all your stuff there. And then you had the Social Security building. Everything was right in town. In other words, I walked to go get my eyelashes done. I used to get my eyelashes done. I used to sit in the chair. They used to do them one at a time. It looked beautiful. It would stay for more than a month, and looking fabulous. And so I would go there, and then around the corner from there was the place you go get your nails done. Now, that was far and few between because, we had the kids, and it was hard. It was hard. That's when we were I want to say when we were fully on our own, not living, next to my in-laws or anything like that, because this was when Ethan was a toddler. So it was, my mother-in-law had passed. My father-in-law was sick. He was with an oxygen tank, walking, all around. And anyway, I don't want to get too deep into that neither. But everything was around there. So when we would go to the laundromat, we would just go walk to wherever, and to pass the time. There was a park over there. There was a library. There was a museum. I mean, everything. It was Poughkeepsie is a city. It's like the city, but not as grand as New York City, but it was a city. If anybody knows where Poughkeepsie is, Melanie, I'm sure you know where it is because you're in Hyde Park. So, it's right over there. But so we would go to the laundromat, and I remember it was just not good, because when you have kids and then you have to wait until you have the money to go to the laundromat, it was just terrible. Okay. If you dirtied something, or if the kids threw up, or whatever it may be, you had to wait until you had, a couple of loads full of laundry, and then you had to make sure you had enough clothes for the 2 weeks or whatever it was. I don't know if we waited that long to do laundry, but a lot of times you had to wait till you had to change, you had to wait. So that was a plus for this place as well. Also that we were locked into a yearly lease at the time. Then things switched up here during COVID. I guess not a lot of people were paying their rent because they lost their jobs. Thank God we still were able to pay their rent, so we didn't get behind on anything. And but the rent from 10 years ago, okay, we're talking 10 years ago, has drastically changed. So 10 years ago, we were paying $750. All utilities are separate. Except the water. The water's not hot water, but the water. Anyway, and sewer and garbage, because they do the garbage pickup. But, we pay electric, cable, phone, internet, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so it went from $750. Fast forward to today's day. Now it gradually, this wasn't this wasn't the jump all at once, but it was 50 here, 60 there. Then it jumped 100. So now we are at 1275. 1275 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. From $750 10 years ago to now $1275. That's over $500 difference over 10 years. So that is really crazy. It's crazy. And because we weren't in a lease anymore, during COVID, they stopped leasing. They stopped signing leases. Everybody was month to month. And I think they did that so that it was easier to evict people that weren't paying their rent. Because obviously, if you're in a lease, then it makes it that much harder, even though the laws here in Washington are way different. The renting laws, way different than New York. Okay, in New York, I remember my mother staying in an apartment for 4 months after she got a notice for eviction. And it was on really crazy terms. This landlord was he was stalking her. It was bad. He would go to her job. It was really bad. But anyway, um, 4 months she stayed there. And when she finally went to court, she didn't have to pay back rent neither because of the circumstances. But anyway, here they don't fuck around. They ain't leaving you even for you. Once they give you that notice, you have, I believe it's 14 days to leave the premises. 14 days. They don't give you any leeway, nothing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But I will say it's also very hard to be asked to leave this place. There are people here that you wouldn't, I'm not going to get into that, but you wouldn't imagine. Okay. Um, and now, you know what? I could kind of talk about this because now she's not here anymore. But remember, I was telling you guys about the fire in my building back in, I think it was April or May, one or something like that. That we had to evacuate at 2 a.m. I was like, it was scary. I had to get the kids up. They were scared. They were like, what's going on? It was just that, but it happened so quickly because we had to move fast. Okay. So fast that it's like a blur, as to how we even got out. Okay. But anyway, so we were standing outside 2 a.m, the fire department banged on the door. We actually knew. I heard the fire alarms going off. For anybody that didn't watch the video where I explained what happened, we heard the fire alarms going off. Okay. Now I sleep in the living room, so of course I heard it first. And then I guess Ethan had woken up from the fire alarms and he looked out his bedroom window because the way the apartment is like okay, so I'm in the living room and my causeway, the breezeway, whatever you want to call it, is out here in front here. So, their bedroom is all the way in the back. So when you look out their window, you can see further out that way, So he's seen a lot of smoke and he woke Jason up. He's like, Dad, is there supposed to be like smoke like that? And I think Jason at the time said, yeah, it could be somebody running the dryer, because the vents are right there. And a lot of time you'll see the dryer smoke coming out. So, but I heard the alarm. So of course, I jump up. My first thought when I heard it, because again, it woke me up at 2 a.m. So my first thought was, okay, somebody's cooking. Somebody's cooking, because that happens. That happened to us the other night when Jason was cooking French fries. It's like the alarm goes off. So I'm like, oh, somebody's cooking. And then right away, even though it's like kind of half asleep, right away, I popped up and like, wait a minute, nobody's cooking at this hour. And the alarms kept going off. So I ran out on my balcony and there were a couple people out there. No fire department, nothing here yet. Now they come super quick. But I went out there and I screamed to the guy. I said, is there a fire? He says, yeah. I said, in this building? He says, yeah. I rushed in here. I went, made sure everybody was up. Danny was stuck by me like glue. I didn't want to say, no, go with Dad. He wanted to make sure that Mom was okay. So I hurried up. I went inside. I grabbed whatever clothes I could for Danny because it was the middle of the night. Thank God it was a warmer night for May because it could have been freezing here. Grabbed my purse, stuffed whatever I could quick in there, grabbed my phone, my charger, my medication, and I was out of here. They were knocking on my door, and as soon as the fire department was knocking, say, everybody out, we were done. We were out. Now, when I got down the steps, okay, me and Danny went down together. Jason, Ethan, and Jack were already down there. They were already down there. I'm screaming because I seen Ethan. I'm like, is Dad and Jack down there? And everybody was out. Now, when I tell you, for some reason, I'm telling you, I felt like I was super fast. But when I went down there, everybody from the building was already out. Like, I think I was one of the last people down. I think there was one other lady behind me. I was like, what the, and I remember thinking, what the hell? I was super quick, So, we always had a plan, a fire safety plan for the kids we always told them, just go. Don't wait for us. Just go. Get yourself out of here safe. And I told them, if we cannot find one another once we're outside, we go and we meet at the stop sign because there's a big stop sign right here when you go out of this parking lot. I said, we all meet at that stop sign. And if we're not there, then you check the playground, this playground in the complex. So we had places to meet. But they were already down there, thank God. I thought I was super quick. I guess not quick enough. I don't know. Um, and then after that, we had to stand outside for 2 hours, um, waiting for them to put out the fire and to also, hi Amanda, to also, take off. So they had wrapped yellow crime scene tape across the building. There were people down there. I was so mad when I went down there that my family had to even go through this, and now my son, I know they have PTSD from this because Jack was just talking about it last night. Because or whenever the fire alarm went off for the fries, Jack, you could tell he was shaking and he couldn't sit still and his eyes were like looking. I'm like, are you okay? He's like, no, I have PTSD from this alarm, this fire stuff. And I'm like, Jack, I know, we were crying together. I was like, I know, mommy does too. We all do, you know. But at the moment, I was so mad. I was so mad. And when they said where this fire was, I was livid. I started saying, "Oh, they want to know how the fire started? I'll fucking tell them." I started cursing, and Jason's like, "Will you be quiet? Will you shut up?" And I'm like, "No." I'm like, "This is bullshit." Having my family out here. Now, I didn't want to say anything because I wasn't sure if the lady still lived here. So this woman, I've always been friendly with. Every time we passed by in the hallway, I would bring her up, like, during the holidays, I would bring her up a basket of like pantry food or stuff that we weren't using because I knew she needed the help as well. She's a single person. She had recently gotten engaged, I believe, to her husband that was in jail. And not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, hey, you love who you love. If they were together before he went in there and she stuck by him, whatever, okay? She would talk to me in the hallways when she would see me. She would always say how she wanted to go hang out at the pool with me or go for a walk or go do this with me, but she would never show up. And she always looked odd. Okay, she would be it was just very odd. So she would talk to Jason, when she would see him outside. But then we started hearing, this was way before, this was over the years, okay? We would start hearing like at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, you start hearing this yelling and banging and things being thrown down the steps. Now she lived across the hallway, but up a level. So she was upstairs and diagonal from us. Um, so you would hear all these things and them yelling and scream at 2 in the morning, like you were in the city. Okay, that's the shit you would hear in Brooklyn or something. Okay, so she's doing whatever, 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 and then there were times where she came down and she would ask if I had a roll of toilet paper, and of course I would give it to her, whatever, whatever. But then the noise at 2 a.m., all that got worse, and my kids were getting scared. They had to get up for school, So I was like, what the fuck, okay? So so after all that stuff was going on, then there's an important part here that I'm missing. I just went blank. I don't know. I guess I'll come to it. But anyway, so this is what. So after all that, that's when I decided to get my Ring camera. Number one, people were stealing my packages, and number two, I wanted to know what the fuck was happening at 2 a.m. Okay, so I wasn't being a nosy neighbor. I was being a concerned mother. I put my Ring camera out there, and when I tell you, now I had the thing on my phone where you can watch in real time. So if somebody was to pass by my camera, you could see what's actually happening that moment. So I would watch it. I would get a ding, but then I felt like I got too, I don't want to say involved, but too, like, with every ding, I would immediately be on my phone and be like, oh, what's going on? It was kind of distracting at some point. So I had, you know, I turned off my, notifications. But anyway, so I would see all kinds of crazy stuff. Okay, I'm telling you, my neighbors, they love to come home drunk and they would actually talk to me through the camera. They would pass by and they would be like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" Or she would laugh with her boyfriend, be like, "Oh, look at these motherfuckers trying to tape us while we're coming past our apartment," and just stupid stuff like that. Okay, laughable stuff. Okay, nothing dangerous, but I would see all kinds of people going up and down my steps, up and down. Hey, Tina, up and down my step, up and down, all hours of the night with bicycles and bags. And so I came to the conclusion that she was allowing homeless people maybe to stay up at her place or for a fee, I'm sure, but to rent it out or whatever, what have you, okay? So that's what was going on up there. Now, what else was going on? What comes along with letting people stay in your home that you really don't know, or letting people use your facilities, or whatever it may be. Okay. It's kind of bringing trouble to the building. It really is. Now, I'm all for, you know, allowing, obviously, getting people out of the cold. It was the dead of winter, letting them stay with you, you know, but you can't let complete strangers, come into your apartment. I mean, she's single, she didn't have any kids, fine. But to bring them to the building. I mean, this isn't a hotel. It's not a shelter. Other people live here. You know, and of course, what she does in her apartment is her business. But when it brings the trouble enough so that my family has to evacuate at 2 a.m. because of your negligence, then yeah, it is my business. So that was going on for a while, and then I overheard them talking out in the parking lot. And that's what really set me off, because then I knew. Okay. So apparently, a couple of people, not kids, but like guys, wearing masks, came up to her apartment, was banging on her door. She wasn't answering, because I later found out that she actually wasn't there, that she had already moved out. This is what's even sadder, is that new people had already rented that apartment when this happened. So the people that were looking for her hadn't realized she had already moved. They came and threw an accelerant, a firebomb, basically, up at her door. The siding and everything immediately became engulfed in flames. Now it went a lot slower because we have fireproof siding. But because they use such a strong accelerant and basically, I don't know exactly this is what I heard the people talking out here about, okay? I didn't see it, so I don't know exactly what it was, but it destroyed the whole, like, I see it. I went up there. The whole middle. So it was enough that the new people that were renting her apartment had to be rescued by the fire department on a ladder. So they are second story from the back. So they had to go down 2 stories on a ladder. Um and they have a baby. They have a baby. So just thank God they got out. But the whole upstairs, now we don't have anybody on this side, so we don't have anybody above us. So it was just that side. There was that apartment and the one next to it. Obviously nobody could go back in those apartments that night. But then after a couple of hours, and they did the hose and made sure that the inside of the wall wasn't on fire, nothing like that. The police officers allowed everybody to go back to their apartments. I found out later on Like, I didn't even know that night. I thought she still lived there. I found out later on um, that she had moved. Okay, so then I felt even worse because can you even imagine? They couldn't have been there more than 2 months. Can you even imagine renting an apartment for a couple months and this happening? You have to be rescued from the fire department because somebody threw a firebomb at your fucking door. Like, wow. And but before that, the neighbor below that apartment, so diagonal from me here, diagonal as soon as I walk out my door, I guess she had heard me that night of the fire downstairs. And then she realized that I had a ring camera. Now, the police had already come to me. Well, they asked Jason um, if they could see our ring camera. Maybe they caught something on there. And I already told you that I do not want to be involved in this. I don't want to be involved in it because, God forbid, it's somebody that it could have been anybody outside. You don't know. It could have been anybody out there. And what if you say, oh, yeah, offer your information? Oh, here you go. And they know that you're the cause of them getting caught. I don't want to be involved. I just don't, So, it's kind of like you don't be a rat, like I just don't. I mean, obviously, if it was meant towards me and it was jeopardizing my own family, then yes, of course. But I don't want to get involved in somebody else's business. So you just never know. So the girl had, the one that lives downstairs from the other one, she had knocked on my door and I didn't answer it because I don't know who she is. Okay. For all I know, I don't know her. Um, so she had said, oh, she says, this is your neighbor, I just wanted to talk to you about that night of the fire. And I said, well, I said, I don't, what do you want? Basically, not to be rude, but what do you want to know? And she says, well, I see that you have a ring camera and I was wondering if I could see it. And she said, or if it recorded anything from that night. And I said, look, I don't have anything to say. I said, she says, well, can you at least tell me, if you've seen anything on the camera? I said, the cops were already here about the camera. I said, you could talk to them if you need any further information, and that was that. I didn't even open my door. I just think that, certain things, yes, you speak up about. Other things, you just mind your business because it's just not worth it, and um, I don't think that it would have helped. I don't think it would have helped. And so, um, whether I did see something or not, it just wasn't going to help. So, um, that's that. But my point being that, um, things get scary, and you just, so I mean, other than that though, other than that situation, um this really is a nice place to live. No, it has its drawbacks, it has its good things, good points. The schools are good over here. The like I said, there's not a ton of like um crime or anything in this area. um it's quiet for the most part, except for like there's this one guy on a scooter. And I will tell you this. I don't know if maybe he doesn't have a license yet or he just likes to annoy the fuck out of people. But I swear he will go on that scooter or whatever he's driving, the thing that he's driving, and he will wait until like midnight. He will wait till midnight and he will get on that motherfucking thing. He will go around the building, around the building. Then he'll go out to the front here, like the road here. Like the road here is not the main road. This is just like it used to be a cul-de-sac, which then it was beautiful. Then you don't have to be afraid to have the kids playing over there. But now they opened it after they got rid of all the woods that we had. That's another thing over the past 10 years. They got completely rid of all the beautiful trees and woods and everything that was over here. And they built the road all the way down to 7-Eleven. So now there's traffic going, but it's still not as much as the main road. But anyway, so what was the guy? Yeah, so he goes and he drives, makes noise on that damn thing for an hour. He'll keep going around and out and back. Then just when you think he's gone, that he went to the store or went somewhere, he's back again. Just to drive your brain crazy. And at that hour when you're trying to go to sleep, it's like, I guess this is talk about complaining about my building and neighbor's day. Then you can't, I already told you this, you can't leave your windows open. You can't leave them. I got so pissed yesterday because I was in one of my moods, one of my just fucking bitchy moods, and I was like, I had the door open for air. I was so hot. I was sweating. I was so hot. I was like, and me and Jason were trying to wrap some Christmas gifts before the kids got home, and so I needed air. I was like, open that door. So we opened the door, and when I tell you, it's like clockwork. As soon as I open the door, you get a breeze of smoke, and you gotta run to the door and close it. Did that like 3 times, and then I got fed up. I was like, I can't even. So when I went to close the door the last time, when I smelled the smoke again, I said, you can't even get some fucking fresh air in your own place around here. And I slammed the door. I think I started choking first. I was like, and then I was mad. I was fucking mad. You can't even get some air in your own place. I mean, what kind of shit is that? Oh my God, just crazy shit. Anyway, so yes, we did wrap. All right, enough of the complaining. Enough of the complaining, Sandra. But anyway, so other than that, life is great. Thank you for allowing me to vent, everyone. Thank you. So we did start the Christmas wrapping yesterday. I mean, I did wrap, I have wrapped Christmas gifts already, but nothing that is staying here. In other words, it was nothing for my kids yet. I had wrapped all of my bestie stuff, and that's in her box, and that's going to go out next week. And then I got to write out my Christmas cards. I wrote everybody's addresses on the envelope, so that's out of the way. And now I have to write the actual cards out and then stick a little special something in each card. And then I'm going to mail my cards out December 1st. I was going to send them out November, but again, I don't know until I know more about the SNAP benefits situation. Because then I have to budget accordingly. So it really depends on that. A lot of what extra things that I wanted to do in November might have to be held off until December. So I'm gonna do all my Christmas cards. So everything's coming along nicely. And then baking, I don't know exactly how many different cookies we're going to be able to bake this year. Again, all depends on SNAP. So I might, but definitely I told Jason, look, I would rather you make me a sheet of the Italian 3-color rainbow cookies than get me a birthday cake. I would rather just have a sheet of those cookies and then just stick the fucking candles in that, and then we'll slice them up. I don't fucking care. Okay. To me, that's the best present. So we might do that. But then mocha balls are a definite. We have to do those. Those are a tradition from his mother. My mother-in-law, I love those cookies. Everybody loves those cookies. We even brought them to the teachers one year, and they loved the cookies. They were like, oh, how do we get the recipe for this? And we're like, there is no recipe for that, okay? It's a family thing. No, I'm sure you could find it somewhere, but, Anyway, so we started wrapping our kids' gifts is what we did. And started with Ethan's gifts because, again, his are a lot less than Danny's. And I did wrap the Christmas Eve gifts. That's what we wrapped yesterday. I wrapped the Snackles plush, and I wrapped the robes for each of them. So they're getting their Snackles plushie robes, and I have to get them popcorn tins. Didn't get those yet. I don't even think they're out yet. And I don't want them to be stale or nothing, so even though they're probably last year's bunch. But it's sealed. You don't know. So, to be honest with you, I usually don't like popcorn. It gets stuck in my throat and it's hard to chew. So I just would rather but to be honest with you, that popcorn, I actually loved it. I think the caramel corn, because you could suck on that, and get all the caramel off. Even put some honey on top of that. Oh my god, I could put honey on anything. Anybody wants to send me honey? I love honey. Send me some honey. All right, so we were so we were wrapping the presents, wrapped Ethan's things. And I told him this morning, I was like, Ethan, don't like, I don't want you to be, upset because you're kind of in between that age. Like Jack's old enough now to understand a little better. Danny's still young and believes, Santa's coming. So Ethan's kind of in that in between stage. And I said, please, I don't want you to be upset waking up Christmas morning and you only have a handful of things to open versus Danny, and even Danny's not going to have that much. So it's like not as much as last year, I'll say, because he does have, a nice amount of stuff, but not as much as last year. So I said, you're only going to have maybe 7, 8 gifts to open. And, but because they're a little more pricier than Danny's, that's what we could do. And he's like, I know, Mom, I know. And they're really sweet. My kids understand. Now Danny, maybe not so much, because like I said, he's still 8. He's only 8 years old. So, I don't want him to, I never want him to feel like Santa forgot about him or didn't, or maybe, I don't want him to say, because, he says, well, does Santa still bring presents even if you're not, on your best behavior? Like, and I don't want him to think that like Santa thinks that he's like a bad kid or, doesn't deserve more stuff, but he doesn't understand the concept. So, but I'm sure, I worry too much about these things, but I'm sure everything's gonna be just fine. One thing that I did notice when I told Jason, I said, let's try out the piano. Now, on a previous video, I showed you guys that I got Danny a keyboard. And it came with the, AC adapter. And that was the plug-in factor is the main thing we needed. So I'm opening it and I wanted to test it out. And what I'm realizing is the keys are really like thin. They're really tiny. So here I am thinking, okay, everybody will have fun with this Christmas morning. Really, only Danny can play it. Like there is no other way. Like my fingers barely, fit on there. So, I'm like, maybe we should look at something else. And when I went to plug in the microphone part, this is the part that sent me over the edge, was like the microphone, when you plug it in, all it did was have this loud static sound, okay? So we tried it a couple times. Jason read the instructions. There was no real instructions to it anyway. And he's like, it's a nice piano. He's like, but yeah, the speaker doesn't sound right. Neither. It sounds like very muffled. So I went to do a return on that. Just made it. Like I could only return it up to the 8th, I believe. Which I thought with holiday purchases, you can return them up till January. But I guess I bought this too soon because I shopped rather early, I guess. Christina's like, that's because you shopped too soon. Holiday, But so I decided to return that piano because number one, the microphone doesn't work. And number two, the keys are, for a child, even though it's a nice size, it's still, the keys itself are small. So I was like, well, wait a minute. I was like, I remember I bought this on a lightning deal, right? That's what I thought. When I went to do the refund, it actually was $40, okay? And not $25 like I originally thought. I had bought so many things on Prime Day that I was all over the place. So this actually was $39.99, not $24.99. So I was like, hell no, I'm glad I decided to, I'm glad the microphone didn't work because now, so The one that I really wanted to get him in the first place, but I didn't because I found this one on a deal, which really wasn't a deal at all because the other one is regular price $64.99. So while it's 25 more than this one, I think you get a lot more for it. So it has the music stand. This one did not. It still has the same, you know, demo songs and tempo things and different, sounding instruments and animals and all that kind of stuff, except it's bigger. The keys are wider because it's meant for an adult or, or a child. Um, and it's electronic, like the top tells you what tempo you're at and what things, all that kind of stuff. This one didn't. It just told you like the volume control and all that. So in any event, that one is the better choice. It is by Rock Jam, which I believe is a good company, and this one was a no name company, but um sometimes you could hit it good though, with the no names, but not this one. You could also feel it was very light, and you could feel that it wouldn't really have lasted much longer than January, in my opinion. Because I know that the other boys would have want to play it and would have wanted to play it, and they wouldn't have been able to because the keys were so small. So this one that I'm going to be getting him is more for family enjoyment, and we'll all be able to play it. And so when I had asked Jason, I'm like, I'm wondering now if I should even get this like specifically for Danny, or if this should be the family gift, because with the bigger one, and you could get the music sheets, I just feel like if it's a family gift, then everyone can enjoy it, instead of Danny, instead of if Ethan says, "Oh, Danny, can I play your piano?" and he's gonna say, "Well, what are you gonna give me for it?" Or what, or no, you can't play it at all. This is mine. Stuff like that, like a usual 8-year-old's answers. And so I think maybe to have it as a family gift, or I was thinking of maybe just having it as a gift for me and Jason. Like that's our gift to each other. And then we can allow the kids to play on it when we want, when we allow them to. So that gives us a little more control over the piano situation. I don't know what to do because then if I minus that gift from Danny, then it's kind of like I have to replace it with something else, which in turn is going to spend, I'm going to be spending more money. However, I did not get him his Sonic the Hedgehog lollipops yet. And I have them saved for later, but I can't spend. I don't know, guys. Is it just me, or like does anybody else think this way? Like I just can't see spending $25 on a box of lollipops. I don't care what kind of face shape they have. I know it's because they're Sonic the Hedgehog characters, but like I don't care if it had doll faces on it. Like I still wouldn't buy it. Like $25. Now I know it's a gift. It's what he wanted, what he asked for. I don't know. I just can't see it. I can't see spending that much on a box of lollipops. But I don't know. I'll see. Um, unless I like even that, like I don't spend that much money even for like stocking stuffer candy for the three of them. And I told them this year I don't think we're going to do stockings. It's because even though it's just like, even if I was to just say, okay, we're just going to do candy this year in the stocking, I'm not putting anything else in there. Um, candy's still so expensive. It's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I want to spend, or if I could spend. I usually roughly about, I would say, spend $20 on each stocking. And that's with the candy included and any other little gadgets or gizmos or whatever. So that's $60 for three stockings. So it's just like, again, I kind of have to penny pinch this year. I have to, wherever I can, pull from, you know, that's what I got to do. And to me, I know that, for kids, it's, I mean, hey, we never got stockings growing up. I don't know. I'm sure Christina did. But I don't know. Tell me, guys, did you always have a stocking on Christmas? I don't remember. Like, and I've said this before in another video. I don't remember ever having a Christmas stocking. I mean, we might have had stockings, but I think my mom just used them for decoration. I don't think there was ever anything put in them. I think it was just for decoration purposes, and that was it. Because I don't remember ever going into a stocking. Now, for some reason, I remember Easter, but it wasn't a stocking. It was a basket and stuff. But yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember ever getting a stocking. So, what do you guys think about the stockings? Yay or nay? Like, I just told you guys what I would save on not doing them. And that's a lot of money. It is. It just is. And I mean, I could always just buy, like I said, buy like even if I was to just cut that into thirds, buy a big $20 bag of Christmas candy, which I usually do anyway. I usually buy the $15 bag of Rolos that are like in the red and green and silver wrapping. In fact, last year I usually do a trail from the bedrooms out to the tree with candy. So for Christmas Eve, last year, I think I did the Rolos. I either do Rolos or Hershey Kisses because they're, wrapped in the red and green and silver. So I do a trail, kind of like it's the trail of the elf, the elf on the shelf. So, and at the end, last year at the end of the candy, the two elves were like, I forgot exactly, but they were, causing mischief, That's what the elf on the shelf was supposed to do, right? So, I always buy the big bags of candy anyway. So, I think, maybe I should just buy one big bag of like mixed chocolate candies, like Hershey's, like I just said, Rolos or Hershey Kisses, something, and then kind of just make them their own little like bowl of candy under the tree with their little name in it, or maybe just put it like Ziplocs or two, I don't know. Maybe get them, I don't know, just something small, Maybe a mug, maybe get them like a Christmas mug and then, fill that with Hershey Kisses, or I don't know, guys. Give me some ideas that will cost me less than $60. My goal is to spend like half that or less. So, yeah, because like I need help. I need help. Guys, tell me, where should I cut corners here? Tell me, yeah, if you have any other ideas, like I'm always open to like other people's ideas, So if you guys have any idea of where else I can kind of cut corners this holiday season, please let me know. Let me know in the comments. I love reading all your comments and I love reading all your ideas. It really it helps me, It really and it I just love hearing other people's views, about things. So let me know. I need another sip of coffee, guys, because I'm dying over here. All this talking I'm doing, all this talking. I think I hear a bus. That might be Jason. So my point being that if the door knocks, I'm waiting for the post office to come pick up this piano because I did home pickup. So it just has to be, it's already boxed and taped and all that. I just got to hand it over to him. And then he hands me the slip for the, with the tracking number. So that's going back. As soon as they get that back and they refund me, it should be timing with when I get my check, so then I can put that $40 towards the new piano. So I only have to pay another 25. And then I want to get, they have a Christmas piano, like my beginner's songbook. Um, but what I don't understand is, are there any piano players out there that could maybe explain this to me? So when you get a piano book, right, you have to know how to read sheet music, right? Because it's not going to tell you like how do you know what how do you know what key to press, in other words, when they tell you, like, you know, all these numbers and letters. I didn't even read through the book. I don't even have it yet. But like just reading, just seeing the reviews of the inside of the book. So it has like those lines of, you know, the lines, and then has the music notes, and then it has certain numbers or letters. But how do I know like what how do I know what I'm playing, in other words? Like, so is it worth it to get the book at this point, or you're not going to be able to use it until you know what keys are what? Like, is it, in other words, I guess my point is it a senseless book to get at this moment until I know, you know, until I memorize what keys are what? Or should I get it, and is it going to help me to teach Danny how to play the Christmas song? If that makes any sense. If there are any piano players out there, please let me know in the comments below, and then we can kind of elaborate on what I'm trying to say if you don't understand what I mean. But okay, so that's where we're at now. Oh, let me get my girl back here because she fell. 1 second, and then I'm gonna get the powdering brush so I could bring my silicones on and show you them one by one, smallest to biggest. Hold on. So here is my baby Santina, and her hair is in all sorts of disaster today. I used this little ribbon that I got in my box opening for my silicones. And I told you guys I was going to reuse that because I absolutely love it. And I was just fluffing her hair. This baby is so, I love her. I don't want to get lipstick on you, my girl, but look at us. I think I hear Jason come up with the cart, guys. So let me, I'm probably going to pause in 1 second to open that. Yep, there he is. All right, hold on. And then we'll be back with Santina and the silicones. So hold on 1 second, guys. Okay, guys, so Jason is back. So he's going to be putting stuff away in the kitchen. Sorry, wasn't sure if the thing went back on, but it did. Okay, so we were just over here with Santina, brushing her hair. This baby is so adorable. She really is. Look at her. And I decided that I'm not going to weight her. I'm not going to re-weight her. And as I'm playing with her, I'm realizing that her arms are not as stiff. And the more I redress her, so I think maybe the ties are loosening up a bit. Still not as much as I'd like, but her legs, I would like to, once I have zip ties, maybe loosen them a little bit. But other than that, I'm extremely happy with her. I'm going to, she's dressed, I redressed her in this, because this is the most favorite outfit that I got from Tina and Happy Mail, and I had to put it on her. I put a white long sleeve shirt underneath, so that it looks a little more like, you know, cool weather, you know, not summery. But I didn't put tights because I love these socks. And I don't think I have tights to fit her. I was looking at Gymboree tights. Gymboree has a lot of stuff on Amazon. They have tights, they have socks, they have hair bows, outfits, everything. So I was looking a lot at the Gymboree line for her, and I found a bunch of dresses, because now, in a lot of these things, remember, that's why it's so much fun to have a bigger girl to dress, because a lot of these things I've seen before and I love them, but I didn't have anybody to wear them. So now I can go, because a lot of these things start at like 12 months and up, and she could wear 12 months. So I found a couple of dresses. I think they were like 7 and change a piece. I found her pajamas. I found her some hair bows, the most adorable socks that look like Mary Jane shoes. And they have these huge rosettes at the top. Like they're in pink and black and white. I found her a beautiful Christmas Eve outfit that has Santa on it. It's like pink and it has Santa on the front with a pair of leggings. And then I found her this gorgeous hat to go with. It is a Gymboree hat, I believe. It's one of those, like, I don't know if you call it like a beret, I think you call it, where it's like a soft type round hat. And then you could just like pull it over to one side, and then the top has a beautiful black pom pom. So the hat is pink and then it has the black pom pom, and it would go perfect with those Mary Jane socks, those slipper sock things. So I have to get her that hat. It's gorgeous. So the hat with those shoes, the Santa outfit, and then I found her a gorgeous dress to wear on Christmas Day. It is by, I believe it's Bonnie Jean. And I know that they are a higher end brand. Also, her Santa outfit is by Mud Pie, and I love that brand as well. Another higher end brand. But they have such gorgeous stuff, and the prices really aren't bad for clothing. Like $7 for, I think it was 10, or I forgot how much the Santa outfit was. Around 10. And then the hat is 7. The shoes are around the same. So, I mean, it really is like affordable stuff, but really good quality. So, the dress is actually like a blue, like an icy blue color. And I believe I had this dress, I had this dress for one of my Hempstead dolls a few years ago. And then that went with her. But it was a gorgeous dress. The dress is so well made. It has lots of layers to it, and it's fully lined, and it would just fall like perfect on her. It has a big bow across the front. It's like an icy blue satiny look, and then it has the like silver glitter kind of design throughout the dress. So I think that would be perfect for her. So again, anything that I talk about on my channel, and if you're interested in any of it for yourself, or maybe to give as a gift to someone in your life, you can always go on my list. I attach the link always, and you can go and look at all these things that I'm talking about for yourself, and then maybe buy it for someone special in your life or yourself. Like maybe I'm talking about this dress and you're like, ooh, that would look beautiful on my Maddie, and so you can go and find it there. But if it's not on my list, I'll let you know that it's not there. And then you can always like leave a comment or email me, and then I will send you the link for that particular item. But I found her, yeah, so I found her a bunch of beautiful stuff. And I just hope that I could grab at least the hat with the socks, next month for my birthday. Maybe get myself something special. And then well, it's really for her, but she's mine. She's for me. She's mine. And then, just different things. I want to eventually get her maybe like a nice little nameplate, that says Santina on it with a little heart or something. Like I've been looking at this, sort of stuff. I really want to make her as special as possible, because she is special. She's a very special doll. And but this outfit looks amazing on her. See how fitted this is, Tina? Like it's perfect though. Now, like, okay, so I tried on the Thanksgiving outfit on her. Well, the pumpkin outfit, the stripes, and I was so hoping. I said, please, 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 I really love this outfit. I went to put it on her, and I thought everything was going good until I tried to snap the legs, in between the legs, and only the middle button snapped, and the other ones wouldn't go. They wouldn't close. And I thought about maybe just leaving it like hanging, kind of like shorts. But because they're bell bottoms, I don't know, it just didn't sit right. It looked weird. So that doesn't fit on her, unfortunately. But I'll hang on to that. Maybe next year I will have a doll that fits that. The Christmas outfit, I did not try on her but I'm pretty sure it'll fit. I'm pretty sure because it's a wider outfit and it's wider in the leg, so I'm pretty sure it'll fit her. But I haven't tried that one yet. And then there were quite a few outfits like that I know are not going to fit her, so I'll just save those. That strawberry romper that's like this, but it has strawberries on it. Let me see if I could grab it because that's another favorite one of mine. Um, but I'm saving that one for if I get like a full body silicone, like preemie size. Because I think this is. Hold on one second. Let me see. Okay, I arranged all her clothes yesterday. I was sitting here while me and Jason we started a new series. The what's in your hair, girl? The Murdoch murders or something like that. About this really wealthy South Carolina family, and they are all like lawyers or come from a long line of family lawyers, and they go through some shit. They go through some shit. We're in the third episode, I think, but yeah, with who's in that series? Is it Patricia Arquette, the one we started last night, the Murdoch murders? Yeah, she's the wife.
I didn't even recognize her.
Yeah, well, she got older, but anyway, so I was sitting there and I was arranging all her clothes and redressing her and trying to see what fit her and what didn't, and try to organize, the clothing. So this is the Christmas outfit that Tina had sent me. And Tina, you see how big it is in the leg? And, it's a wider outfit. That's why I'm saying that I don't think I'm going to have a problem putting this on her. I should try this on her tonight. Now this is saying newborn, and there's just no way. Like this company runs big, really big. But I mean, just looking at it, you can tell like this is gonna be fine. Definitely in the arm, and again the leg, because it's that's the style of it. It'll fit, okay, and she's gonna look adorable in that. So I'm gonna do pictures of her in that too. I'm gonna do pictures. Okay, so that was one of them. And then this is my another favorite in that bunch, but this I know will not fit her. So I didn't even try. This says 0 to 1 month. This romper right here, I could picture this with pink tights and a pink hair bow, but it won't work for her. And also, I mean, I could, even if it did fit her, obviously I would leave the onesie because this would all show up here. But I just keep picturing this on like a newborn silicone baby, because then you don't have to worry about the sleeve or up at the top or nothing. But this is definitely up there with, I think, the top 3 faves of that Happy Mail. So this one, and then there was another outfit. Let me see if I could get it. I just organized the clothes, so I don't want to go through. Just hold on one second. Okay, so this one was also another favorite. I love this. That is so cute. And this came with a hat, but I can't find the hat right now. The only thing about this is I don't know if this if it washed out when I because I did wash this one. I know you said you washed everything, but I washed this with the last batch of clothes, and for some reason I feel like I shouldn't have done that. It almost looks like the color got a little weird, and some clothes do that. Like, you have to be careful, I noticed, with this shade of pink, like that dusty kind of color, because if you wash it with other things, sometimes even if you wash it by itself, it just takes on like that I don't know how to describe it, like a weird color where it's not pink anymore. Almost, I don't want to say dirty, but it almost takes on that like feeling. I don't know. I know it's me, but so I don't know. I might not. I don't know. I love that. I love the style, but I think I ruined it. So I don't know if that will actually go on anybody. I know. I didn't watch this one. I did not. I was not going to take a chance. But I'm going to show you some of the other favorites. So this stuff, these things I had gotten. These things I am waiting these are the things that I put aside, should I say, for when I get a newborn girl or a preemie girl. You know, with this outfit, all I can see with this outfit is Ashley. That's all I see with this outfit. It's just it's a constant reminder of little Ashley. And I wouldn't mind having her again. I loved that face. I loved that baby. I think she was adorable. But that I'm saving for and then these shirts came in I had bought these from Walmart, and I didn't keep the dresses. Actually, those dresses went home with Alice to her new well, the woman that's going to fix her. But I kept the shirts because I absolutely love these shirts. And I think these are so cute for like a silicone girl, because you could just have her in a diaper and then a cute little shirt. So that's what I thought of when I kept those. So these are all things I'm keeping in hopes that I will be getting a newborn size silicone one day. So I'm hanging on to these. This outfit I bought from I don't have a girl. No, the only silicone girl I have right now is this tiny girl. So then I have this little onesie. These are from, I want to say Gymboree. No, Baby Place. So these are from Baby Place. And this says beautiful on the front, the Dia, the baby Dia. And then it has the matching footed pants. So that outfit I'm saving. Usually I wouldn't save outfits that don't fit any of the dolls I currently have, but I'm learning. I'm learning. And then this one came with that outfit. And this is the sleeper. And it's pink. It has the ruffles at the top. And then it's a snap up. And then it has the little deer and flowers. So these are the outfits I'm keeping, like I said, for when I do finally get a newborn silicone. That's what these are for her. So that I have separate, you know. Okay, so now that I showed you that, we're going to move on to the silicones. I'm going to show you them from smallest to biggest. And so say goodbye to Santina. We are going to feature her more tomorrow on the collab. So I will show her more tomorrow. Although me and Christina agreed we're going to feature our silicones tomorrow more, because she has gotten quite a few new silicones as well. So both our silicone collections are growing, so we want to show those off. And wait. So that, yeah, you can't wait. What, for your tag? Mm-hmm. So she is a beautiful baby. Again, I pierced her ears. Her hair is really, really soft. Anybody that's looking to get this particular Maddie, she is available on Amazon right now. And if you're interested, I can send you the link. So just let me know. And her eyebrows are done like incredible. And Tina, I can't wait to see your Maddie when she gets there. So I hope are you going to do a box opening on your channel? Look, I'm breaking out over here again. Look at this. I always break out in this spot. Was I just touching my face? I don't know what I was doing. Oh, maybe from her hair. Maybe when I was doing this, it would have been this side. I don't freaking know. Anyway, so I can't wait to see yours. I hope you do a box opening on your channel. And go check out Tina's channel. Tina actually has another YouTube channel, but she just recently started her doll channel. And oh my God, Tina, you're gonna kill me. What is the name of it? Oh no, it was such a cool name too. Well, anyway, I don't want to say it wrong, even if I thought I knew it. So go check out Tina. I just posted her newest video under my community wall page. So go check that out. And the link is there, so you can just click on it. It's really just like a 15-minute intro to her channel and who she is and the dolls she has. So please go check that out. And she's really, really cool person. Really, really cool. So please go check her out. So here's Santina Grace. So we're going to say bye with her. Bye-bye. 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 Bye. See you guys tomorrow. Bye. So So she's going to sit over here and help me while I show you guys. Wait, hold on. Let me put her behind me. Okay, guys, I'm back. So I sent Jason away because he's making too much noise. I, I sent you away.
Yeah.
I don't like, I put her back there, but now she's like, I don't like that she's like right there behind my head. Like that looks so weird. Like the baby's, I'm going to move her. Maybe I should just move this way. I'll do that. And then I could show you. There we go. So this way you could see her. No, I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. So she's still in the frame, and we're going to get to the silicones in 1 second. I don't want to be too much longer in this video. We're at an hour and a half because I really wanted to get some more wrapping done before the kids got home because it is Friday. They're going to be home the weekend, and, you know, so I just want to kind of get some little other things out of the way. If I don't get to it, I don't get to it. But anyway, I like to try. So, Jason did pick this up at the pantry, and I didn't see exactly what he got yet, but it's not much, guys. It's not much. You know what? It's like I said, because they're trying to obviously, you know, stretch it among a lot of different families. You know, things have gotten. Now there was a time when we went, oh God, this was pre-COVID. We used to go there when we really needed to. And we hadn't gone, like I said, we hadn't used any pantry. Like there was like a 4-block period where we didn't go at all. Like a 4-year period. And now, you know, we had to go a couple times, but when we used to go, I mean, I remember he used to come home with, like, he has that shopping cart, like that rolling, you know, black foldable cart you use. And he used to come home and the thing used to be packed full of stuff, all kinds of fresh fruit and vegetables and all kinds of frozen meat and all kinds of stuff. But now it's very, you know, but gotta be grateful, you know, and I am grateful for whatever, like this cake, this slice of carrot cake. So, hey, it's halfway healthy. Now he did get other things, you know, for the boys, but this, I don't want them fighting over this, so that's why this one's mine. But there's other things that they will enjoy when they get home, including Hawaiian rolls, which those things are really good. And I should make, you know what, there's a recipe to do something with the Hawaiian rolls. I forgot what it was now. I know you could do sliders, like, on there, you know? And I do have some meat, but it's frozen. It's just like the, which, see, I don't like to use that unless I have to. So we keep it in there, obviously, for emergency. But, you know, like the ground turkey or the meat that's, like, in a tube almost, like a roll. It looks like liverwurst, you know, like a liverwurst roll. It doesn't look like that. The meat doesn't look like that. At least I don't think so, because it's rolled, you know, you can't see through the plastic wrapping. But it's in, like, a lot. I hope I'm describing this right. Like a salami. It looks like a fucking salami roll. Until you open it up. But I'm sure it's fine. I just never cooked with that before. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. But we might have to. I might have to. That's okay. Anyway, so let's try this. I think it said that this is some kind of carrot cake. Yes. So let's try it. My hair just got in my eyeball. That wasn't good. It's good. It's decent. You know, it's stale. But I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. It's still good. It still tastes good. And it goes good with coffee. So that's good. And it's nice that I'm able to talk to you guys, you know? It is. And it's not to, you know... I know a lot of people come on here to... I don't know. That's good. I'm gonna have to have juice taste though. You know, complain about their life and all this stuff. But that's not what I'm doing. I'm not complaining one bit. I think like I said, I'm grateful and thankful, and um for everything, for everything, you know. And it's just nice to be able to come on my channel and talk to my subscribers and my friends, and about just about real life, you know, about things that really happen, and things that are real in the world, things that are going on, you know, as we speak, things that affect my family and things that don't affect my family. I just like to talk about things in general, about life, about people, about, you know, the world, about love and kindness, community, and sharing. And I'm all about sharing. I'm all about sharing. And you know, I like it because there's no judgment here. You know, there's no judgment to me or to any of the people that decide to comment. Um, this is, you know, a safe place to talk about your feelings, to talk about life in general, to talk about real world things, you know, whether they are affecting you personally, or you know somebody that's going through it, or, you know, hey, maybe you can't relate at all, but you still like to be here to listen to me, you know, any of the above. You know, it's just nice to be able to come on here and talk to you guys. That's all. um I really want Jason to try this, just in case. I don't want to be the only one throwing up. No, I think it's all right. You know, you gotta be iffy with cream cheese, you know, anything dairy. It says the 22nd, which is when? Is it today? Hey, it's all right. It's good. It's good. All right. Let me get my coffee and get the powder for the silicones, and I'll be right back. Okay, here I am. I'm back. Here I am. And I put her up there so you could see her nice up there. Okay, got my silicone brush. Bought this Amazon, Wet and Wild. It is, I believe. Yep. Wet and Wild. So it has, I like it because it has that extra like little pink, you know, top there. And it's nice. It doesn't look like your regular just like black makeup brush, you know. Adds a little pop of color there. So this is what I use to powder my silicone babies. I believe it is a powder brush, or it could, yeah, I think that's what they call it, right? Well, it's for powder, but I think it could be a blush brush. I don't know, one of the two. This piece of the wig is like, it keeps bothering me, like. But anyway, so I usually, okay, I do have this little mini bottle of powder. This is almost, you could see, it's a little more than half done. So I bought this when I ordered Clark, I think. And I just got them a little bottle of powder. I don't usually get the small one because it's not cost effective, you know, but I wanted a little one to just kind of like display with them. But we could use that today. But what I want to show you what I usually use. So this is my beat up dented container for my powder. And it's just a little, you know, little container. I don't even know what this is for. It's just a metal canister. I think I got this at Walmart long time ago when it was on clearance, so like 50 cents. 50 cents. And then I put a little Ziploc baggie in here, and I fill it with powder. And I usually seal this up, but I don't know. I think I might have powdered them recently. And then I have another, so I have two different scents in here. So the bottom one is plain, the top one is lavender. So, and then it's so easy because then you just dip the brush in there and shake it off. And then, so we're gonna do that because the thing though, this one makes a mess. So this I usually will use after they take a bath. after they take a bath and they need a big, big powdering, whew, this is the one I use for that. But when I'm just doing a touch-up, like I'm going to be doing now, then that's when I like to use this, because it's less of a mess, it's more controlled, you know, because then you're just going to put a little powder on the edge and then just go over them. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to put a little powder on the end there. See? So you just need a little bit. And then we are going to grab my little girl first. It looks like my little boy. Oh, and I'm going to do a name reveal. So my little boy looks like he needs more powdering than her. So I'm kind of going to... Okay. So here's my little girl. You could see, woo, all the powder is going in the air. Woohoo! There goes the powder. I'm just going to powder her face. Now, when you have awake silicone babies, you want to make sure that after you bathe them, you pop their eyes out. And with a Q-tip, I use a Q-tip, you want to make sure that you get into the eye cavity and behind the eye itself to prevent mold from growing. Because if you leave the moisture and the water in there, kind of like a bath toy, right? And you leave it in there. Oh my God, I've went through tons of bath toys from my son. Well, all three of my kids. Really terrible. When you guys, if you have kids and you let them have bath toys, cut one open. Cut one of the toys open and see what's inside. I guarantee you're going to find some kind of yucky stuff. Okay? You don't want your kids playing with that. Plus, younger kids put stuff in their mouth all the time, even when they're in the bathtub. So you don't want that yuck. So go check your bath toys. So just like a bath toy, that's what you have to do here. Make sure that they are dried, and then you just pop the eyes back in. And I know a lot of people don't like to do that. Christina, I'm going to have to show you maybe tomorrow in a video how to do that, because you gotta do it. I don't know if you have awake silicones, but you gotta pop their eyes out, honey, because you're gonna create a problem with the mold. Okay, so you see all the powder flying up. I'm just making sure she's well powdered to show her off to you guys. Danny loves this baby. He loves her. As soon as he comes home from school every day, he goes right to the bassinet, picks her up. Well, the Moses basket. I have the Moses basket in front of me. Bassinet. I took all the sheets out, washed everything. That is now for the reborns again. That's the best place to display them. Okay, because they're sleepers, you know, so they need a place to stretch out and sleep, you know. So they're in there, and I had the Moses basket in there at one point, so I took the Moses basket out, put that right in front of me. All the silicones lay right in front of me all the time. So when I'm sitting in my chair, whether I'm doing a video or not, I don't have to reach nowhere. I don't have to say, hey, can you go get me this doll? I'm right here, pick it up, hold him. And I will tell you, I slept with the boy one all night last night. I tucked him right into my shirt. He's the perfect size. So, she's all powdered. So we're going to reveal her name to you. First, let me show you how cute Jade look. Look at this. Look at this babe. Look at her little tiny feet. Look. Look at the blushing, how pretty. Look, and her knees. This girl, if I take this off, you'll be able to see she has beautiful slight veining through her tummy. And I want to say that this doll, now this is a hand-painted doll, silicone. I want to say that, to me, this baby has the most realistic, shape to a real baby. She has like that big abdomen and then the skinny legs, like, you know, when babies are first born, how they look. So she has that, like, that real factor to her. And when I say that, you know, all dolls have their own thing going on, like their own, what makes them special. This definitely makes her stand out from the rest because she has that realistic body shape for a little baby. And then I pierced her ears with these tiny little rhinestones. And then I made her this headband by just tying a knot in the headband and then just cutting off the excess, you know. So I made that for her. And, oh, she's got a little powder there. Oh, little baby. She's got the most beautiful eyes. Look at that. They have like some green in them. And her eyebrows are painted beautifully. And she's got just the right amount of coloring on her lips and her cheeks. And, ooh, ooh, mommy, no. She has such squish to her. Look at her. Now, I would love to try and find a little pacifier to go in her mouth. I have been searching all over the place for micro preemie clothes. And I've also been searching like for baby alive littles. I've been searching for now I'm not even gonna try Etsy because I don't know. I've been even Labubu clothes I was thinking might fit her. But I've found a couple different ones, a couple different sets of clothes that I may try. I'm not sure. Again, it really comes down to if I can do, like, this is a lot like before Christmas, to be trying different things to have. And this is one of the things, about having dolls that all have different sizes and different genders and different all that stuff, because then you kind of can't focus on one particular size or style or whatever it may be. And so, do I want to try these clothes for her? Yes, most definitely. Will I be able to do that now? Probably not. I mean, I may be able to try one little thing for her, just to see. Like, I'm hesitant too because I'm not sure of the exact size. Like, I know we measured her, and I think Jason said she's 10 inches, but I'm like, I don't know the different styles. Like, this outfit doesn't have, this outfit doesn't have any Velcro or anything on it to close it. So I'm wondering, like, this must have been handmade. I'm thinking, with a lot of the stuff, this onesie, I don't know if this was handmade, although it does say 6 to 9 months, which obviously it is not 6 to 9 months. So I'm thinking this had to be handmade as well. But this is definitely a lot better made, I want to say, than like the nightgown. Because after, I will say, I washed it, I hand washed it, and then I put them in the dryer, and the red started coming apart. So I had Jason fix it, and he actually, I want to show you what he did for me. So, and then I also have this cute burrito blanket for her. So I hand washed all this stuff, but this is so cute. I hand washed it in Draft. So that's her little blanket. But this, I love this nightgown. I absolutely loved it. But the seams were coming apart. So what I had Jason do was, rather than sew it all back together, he kind of took the rest of the thread off and made it a gown instead of a bunting. So when I originally got this, it was all sewn together on the bottom so that her feet couldn't come out, which was kind of still a little short. So you kind of had to scrunch up her legs a little bit. It worked, but I thought doing it this way would be a lot cuter because then her little feet could come out. I haven't tried this on her yet though, since he did that for me. But I will probably put it on her tonight. I think this is an adorable little gown. And what I'm also wondering is, I even looked at like 14-inch like welly wisher clothes, or I was looking at Glitter Girls clothes. Those are the 14-inch. And Christina was like, no, those girls, they have such tiny little waists. I don't think that that's going to fit on her. Which she's right, because she does have some, belly to her. And then I was thinking, well, what about like American Girl clothes? Like, even if it's like a shirt that's a little longer to fit like a dress. I don't know. But I know that I want to get her other things, to kind of make her my own. You know what I'm saying? Like, like this outfit, kind of like what I did with the headband, in the ears, piercing her ears. But like this outfit came with her, and I kind of want to get something that's, I guess, more my style to go on her. you know, just something more, I guess, comfy for a little bit for a baby. You know, that's why I do love the gown. So if I could find something more like this, other things like this, or even a little, I would love to find her a cute little dress with like ruffles or a tutu or something. So I'm gonna keep my eye open, my eyes open, my eye open, keep my eye open for something like that. Um, but in the meantime, I mean, she is just gorgeous. I originally put a preemie diaper on her and I folded it like a couple times. I think she would fit in the Baby Alive diapers, but I went to check on Amazon and they're like $10 for a package of 6 Baby Alive diapers. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So, right now she just has on her onesie and then this, which these wouldn't fit over a diaper anyway. So, she'll just leave her onesie on, you know, whatever I put on her. And, then maybe I can get one of those cloth diapers or something. I don't know. But we'll figure that out, you know, down the line. I'm not too worried about it right now. But, there she is. So her name is Nina. So I named her Nina. And so welcome everyone. Welcome everybody. My name is Nina. I hope you'll come and see us tomorrow. Bye. So that's Nina. So and she is 10 inches. So there's Nina, 10-inch silicone. We'll put her back. And then let me get you this other one over here. Over here. Oh, you know what? Let me put this back here. Her bunny. Okay. So then we have my other baby, which he definitely needs powdering. What did I do with that powder brush? Here it is. This baby definitely needs powdering. Oh my Lord. I'm just trying to powder him up a little bit before I bring him on. You know why he needs powdering? Because mommy slept with him all night. I slept with him all night long. Okay, ready? He has a lot of powder on him. Whoop! What did you do, Mom? Just trying to make you presentable here. So, this baby, let me tell you, I love this boy. I love him. I love him. I love them both, but I love him. Like, because, I'll tell you why. He's going to be, number one, a lot easier to find clothes for, even though he's like a tiny preemie. So he's like a smaller preemie. He is, I would say, I'm going to say 13 inches. He's about 13 inches. But he's chubby. So he's chubbier than her. So he's a chunk. He really is a chunk. Which I love. Love the chunkers. And then, put it in this way. I slept with him all night just like this. Just right on me. I stuck him right in my nightgown. And he's so comforting, you know. He's not a ton of weight. So he's like, I would say he's 3 pounds. But he's still at that comforting size. Love his hands. Like, they're such a stress reliever for me. I'm going to show you what I mean. Okay, that's good. So, he's got on a preemie side snap Carter's. And he's got on his preemie diaper. So, you could see that I folded it under a little bit. But, so he's a smaller preemie. So, preemie could fit him, depending on the style, you know, fold it up. Or whatever. So, I'm getting powder everywhere, but that's okay. So, this guy, now if I could find, oh, here it is. Okay. So, this guy, look at him. Look at how jiggly and cute he is. Look at him. I love his little fat hands. Look at his hand. Look at that fat hand. Look at it. Woo, 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 woo. And these fingers. Look at this. I love these fingers. Absolutely love them. So cute. Here's his belly. I should powder his belly too. Belly, 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 belly. You should powder his belly. Let's just powder your belly a little bit. We're almost done with the video. We're going to do a name reveal. So yeah, he sleeps with me. I love him. He slept just like this all night. I love him. He's like the perfect size. Perfect size to sleep with. Perfect size little companion. He's adorable. He is so cute. Look at him. Look at this guy. And I gave him a bath and everything. Oh, he's got like a permanent booger. I'm not going to pick it though. And you know what? I gave him a bath, but I'm not going to rub this off because when I powder it, you could see it really becomes like it's not crumbly. I feel like the other painting was. So he could keep that on and look at his mouth. Look at that. And the double chin. Oh, oh. And he's so wobbly. But look. Look at him out. Oh, oh, oh. And he's so cute. And if I don't have a nail on, he could like suck my little pinky like babies do, you know? And I don't think he has a tongue like I thought at first, but you could see like the inside of his mouth. Like, it's so cute. And he can take a modified pacifier, which I realized, but this is the only one I have. So, I mean, it's fine for now, but I'd like to get him a different one. So this is the one that I have here, Snowman. And so you just squeeze his mouth. See, I cut it, modified it for him. I probably could modify it a little better, but then you just wiggle it there in his mouth until it's like flush. Now I know I had this yesterday flushed, so there we go. Okay. He's so cute. He's so cute. So here he is. Look at him. So see, he's got his pacifier flushed to his face. I do want to get him some other pacifiers. That's another thing I gotta look for. I think they have preemie pacifiers on Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. They'll probably work really good for him. Because this is just a newborn pacifier. But I think they have little tiny like preemie ones. Like I think they're round though. I think they're round ones. But still, it'll work for him. Really cute. He's so jiggly and soft and squishy. Perfect size. And so this little guy's name is Nate. So we have Nina and Nate. So those are that's their name reveal. So here we go. There's how they look together. So she's 10-inch and he's 13. So they're Nina and Nate. And you could tell when they're together how well painted she is. She's hand painted. And I gave her a bath too. She's hand painted and he's unpainted. So you could tell the difference in the coloring. But really cute. Both of them are adorable. I love them. Love them. And thank you again to the Miss Anonymous. Miss Anonymous. Okay, so we're going to put him in there. And we'll put her there. And then, now I'm just going to, just to show you, because I said I would show you all the sizes quickly, we'll show you little Johnny. Wow, now little Johnny feels so heavy and so big when I pick him up. Oh, and this little, this hole on his arm is getting bigger. Did you notice that? Okay, so here's little Johnny. And this outfit actually came in the box opening for the silicones. But it didn't quite fit on Nate. So it fits on little Johnny perfect with the socks. And I think he looks so handsome, don't you guys? And so he is the Amazon replica of Coco Malou. And he is just darling. We love little Johnny here. He's been here the longest. You could tell he has like all kinds of nose rubs and foot rubs and everything. And his little, look at the little hole in his arm. Oh, but I'm not messing with the silicone glue anymore. So somebody else wants to do it. So now he is 14 inches. He's listed as 14 inches. But now let me show you quickly Nate next to him. Now he's a lot stiffer. Now we thought he was the wobbliest silicone. But Nate is actually more wobbly than him. And so Nate, I would say, is 13 inches. Even though little Johnny has such a more large head and body. It's weird with these dolls because the measurements kind of don't add up like when you put them together. Now, little Johnny is obviously noticeably more heavy than this one, but they're not much difference in length. About an inch and a half maybe. But they're both really cute. So there is that one. And then let me get Clark. Come on, Clark.
Oh, you're finally showing me again? Huh?
Oh, and Clark has not been picked up since I changed him on his changing video. When was that, guys? Last week, I think. Let's see. Oh, let me just pull your... Okay. So here is Clark. He could use a little powdering too. And wow, is he heavy when I pick him up. So there's Clark, and he is my biggest one at 16 inches. And he is wearing his cute little giraffe outfit from Aunt Tina.
Hi, everybody.
And he is also the replica Elisa Marks. Cocomello by Elisa Marks. Okay, so let me show you little Johnny next to him, because now he's 16 inches. And then little Johnny is 14. So you see the difference in them now? I mean, that's a huge difference too. So it really, I think he has more bent legs in this one. It really, really depends on, you know. And his face is a little bit bigger. The eyes are different shape. And I would say that they're, like, for these two, it's really hard to tell about weight because it's distributed differently. He's more firm in the torso area, I feel. Kind of everywhere. And then Clark is more jiggly. You see that? Look. I mean, where they both have the weight to them and the, you know, jiggle factor. It's just different. It's just weighted differently, if that makes any sense. So let's bring all four on, and then we're going to go. So there's the three boys together. and there's little Nina. So we have Nina, Nate, little Johnny, and Clark. And she's 10 inches. He's 13, 14, and 16. So them two will fit. Well, they all will fit in preemie size, just differently. You know, it'll look different on each one of them. And this girl is a micro preemie. I don't know where I'm going to find clothes for this one. But they're all beautiful. They all have their own things about them that I love. You know, one is not better than the other. They're just all very different. And that's what I love. I love that about them. Love the variety, right? The spice of life. So, I'm going to go now. Thank you so much for joining me today for this 2-hour video production of the Sandra Show. And I will be back with all my silicones and Jason and Christina and Kevin tomorrow for a collab. And that will should be posted by tomorrow night. I would say tomorrow evening sometime, by the time we're done and I get it posted, uploaded. But please make sure to stay tuned. We have some fun things coming. We have the hubby holiday tag, which is going to be hilarious. We also have some special holiday news that you're going to want to watch and tune in for. And as well as me and Christina just hanging out and talking about the holidays and presents and food and family and fun. And we're going to be showcasing all of our silicone dolls. Christina's collection has been growing as well as mine. So we're going to be doing all that wrapped in a giant big bow tomorrow. So don't forget to watch for that. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And don't forget to, I reached 860. So 40 more to go. We got 40. We need 40 subscribers and we do a giveaway, guys. 40 subscribers. That's really not a lot. So we're almost there to 900 to do the 900 subscriber giveaway. So don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow and we will all see you then. So thank you so much. Enjoy your Friday evening, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow, and then I'll see you Monday. So I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Take care. Bye bye.